Welcome to the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast, your number one podcast for all things horror. I'm your host, Big Goobs, and of course, I'm always joined by my friend and co-host, Dakota. How are you, Dakota?
I'm doing good, Goobs. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. And if you're looking at the video version, you see we have a familiar friend on here, Mr. Ian VanGhoul. How are you, good sir?
I'm wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Super stoked about this episode and to have you with us.
Absolutely. Always a joy to be here.
Yes. So, as always, we're going to jump right in to what did we watch this week. So, you know what? Dakota, you can go first.
Okay. So I've been having some issues this week, so I didn't get a lot of movie watches in. I only got one. But I did watch 3 from Hell finally to finish up the Firefly trilogy.
Nice. Hell yeah. And what about you, Ian?
Well, I finally checked out Cannibal Apocalypse. It's a video nasty from 1980, and I'm embarrassed that it took me this long to watch it. It kind of fucking rips. It has John Saxon, who most people should know from Nightmare on Elm Street. But it's a pretty gnarly movie. So, yeah, I dug that. I also finally watched Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. I loved it. The internet does not agree with me, but fuck them. I had a good time with it. I mean, there's a few issues I had with it, but overall I had a blast, and it's really fucking close to the games. So that's more than I can say about all the other fucking live action Resident Evil movies.
Man, right.
I watched the Christmas tapes finally. I'm a little behind on things. That was fun. I dug that. And I just checked out a screener of a movie that's coming out soon out of Argentina that's called Portraits of the Apocalypse. It has a lot of the same cast and crew from When Evil Lurks. But it was made for like $6,000 and filmed in 3 days. So it's not quite the level of When Evil Lurks or Terrified. And it's not Damien Rugnan that does it, but it's a lot of the same other cast and crew. But it goes pretty hard. It's pretty gnarly. It's kind of like it's an anthology that without being an anthology, if that makes sense. It's like kind of 4 interconnecting stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. So that's what I watched.
Hell yeah. I watched a few things this week. I did a rewatch of the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Banger.
Now that I've been wanting to watch it for months, and I was too lazy to put the DVD in, but it finally got put on Hulu, so I just streamed it. Then I watched, it's not horror, but I watched The Bad Guys 2 finally with my daughters. It's a good franchise, man. I enjoyed it. For an animated movie, it's solid. Then I rewatched The Lords of Salem and the Firefly trilogy.
Hell yeah.
And we will talk more about that later on. But,
did you also rewatch 31?
Oh yeah, of course. I watched that on my birthday. Yeah, I rewatched.
I saw that on your letterbox.
Yeah, I rewatched that one on my birthday. Had to.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Happy birthday, Goobs.
Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Love you, bro.
Love you.
All right. Now we got some news to cover in the horror space here.
Whoa. Before you go to the news,
you guys have some physical media to show off.
Yeah.
So,
gang.
I will just be watching this segment. So, Ian, let's see what you got, my friend.
Well, I mean, I only have one, since last week, but it is the Lost Boys trilogy, the glow-in-the-dark cover. I love the first one. The other 2, I've only ever seen once each because they're so fucking bad. But, like, I wasn't going to pass this up.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all I got this week.
I love those glow-in-the-dark slip covers, man.
Yeah, they're pretty gnarly. They're fun.
Before I go, you know how Colby got his Blade trilogy last weekend? It didn't have a slip cover. Went to my Walmart, had a slip cover on it, glow in the dark.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck was happening at his Walmart.
Like each one's different. It's weird. Like I have two in my area, and I can go to one and find something particular, and then go to the other one, and it's completely different. Like it's weird.
Yeah, my Walmart doesn't get any cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, both of mine typically don't. So I miss out on all that good shit that I see on TikTok.
Right.
So, for my physical media, technically, first of all, I got the Michael Myers popcorn bucket from Cinemark.
That's good.
So ridiculous.
Love this thing. If you guys want one, it's $30 at Cinemark. Then, while I was at Cinemark, I decided to grab the grabber cup for Black Phone 2.
That cup's sick.
Which
That is sick.
I love this thing so much. And that was $20.
Hell yeah.
The cup's 20, and then the whole ass fucking popcorn bucket is only $10 more.
No. Yeah. It's sad that it's kind of 30 though. But I'll pay the 30 just to see it. Not see it, but buy it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right on. I'm not gonna lie. If I went to my theater and that was sitting there, I probably would buy it. For as much as I'm making fun of it, I would probably still buy it.
I have to save my popcorn bucket money for the Wicked popcorn buckets for my wife coming out at the end of November.
Those are a lot of those.
Dude, there's so much. I won't go down that rabbit hole. But, dude, there's at least 30 items throughout all the theaters,
What?
man. Yeah, they have cups, popcorn buckets. Some of them glow. Some of them play music. Like, wild.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. I mean, I'm going to see the movie regardless, but that's beside the point. We got some horror news to go through now. And I'll kick us off because it looks like the Creep Tapes season 3 has already been greenlit by Shudder. And we haven't even seen the second season yet, which comes out in November. But I am stoked for this news.
So for our second piece of news, Stephen Connetti, the director and I was about to say filmmaker, he is one, but like the overall like head honcho of the Hell House franchise, he is directing a new movie called A Body in the Woods, which I don't know anything about this movie. I don't know if it's going to be connected to Shudder or not. But I know you guys have seen. I know Ian has seen all the Hell House movies and 8254 Forest Road. I know Goobs has seen 8254 Forest Road, but the first 4 Hell House movies, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen Lineage yet.
And I've only seen 8254 Forest Road, but that movie absolutely terrified me.
But
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know he's gotten a lot of shit from a lot of people about 825 Forest Road and Hell House Lineage. I'm a fan of both of them. Like I know a lot of people were upset that Lineage wasn't found footage. It's moving away from everything it's been from the past 4 movies. I get it, but I also enjoyed it because I'm a huge fan of found footage, but I'm also a huge fan of just horror movies in general. Right. So I understand what he was doing, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Same with 825 Forest Road. I don't know what like the mindset of people like. Hell House is a very minimal budget found footage franchise. Right. And that's what 825 Forest Road is, minus the found footage. So it's not the best acting, it's not the best overall production, but for what it is, it worked for me. I thought that were like he did a lot of scary shit in it, but it's not in your face. Right. It's a lot of stuff in the background that like you have to pay attention and notice. So like I like Stephen Connetti quite a bit, and I think he's a good filmmaker. So I don't understand where all like the overwhelming amount of hate is recently, but whatever. I'm down for it. I'm looking forward to see what this one's all about and what he's going to do outside of the Hell House realm. So right. I'm all about it.
Yeah. just a quick 2 cents on mine. I didn't care for 825 Forest Road, but it wasn't for any of like the production or the acting. I didn't like the repetitive narration from each different point of view of the story. Like you see the story from this person, you see then the same story from this person, and it just became a lot of repetitiveness for me.
That's fair.
However, that mannequin was scary, and when she's in the sewing room or whatever, and like you said, you pay attention. So it's over here looking this way, and all of a sudden, next frame, it's over here looking at you, and you're just like, ah, shit. So there was good things about it. It just I didn't like the storytelling aspect of the repetitiveness from each standpoint. So, but that's just my
Yeah, I mean that's very valid. You also didn't go online and shit all over the movie, so
no. I think especially if it's a micro budget independent film that you know you're not a fan of. If you're just going to shit on it, don't say anything at all. But if you're gonna give constructive criticism of why you don't appreciate it or why it didn't land for you, that's perfectly fine. But don't be a dick.
100%.
These people put their fucking blood, sweat, tears, and literal like livelihood into these projects, and for some jackass on the internet, I'm one of them, so I can say it, to just shit on it. It's crazy.
Agreed.
But a little tangent there, but a big middle finger to the next people of Walmart because they are planning to demolish the Monroeville Mall within the next 2 years, and that is the made famous of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, and I believe that's really close to you, right, Ian?
It is, yeah. I'm going to go last on this because I have a lot of thoughts and opinions on it.
The only opinion in my opinion, this is a historic piece of land, not just for the town or not just for the film and the film industry and horror in general, but it's for the town. The amount of people that I'm sure go there on a daily basis from all over to experience what that place is, to just demolish it, to put probably some bullshit high rise or whatever the hell in there, that should be preserved as I don't care. That should be preserved as like a national landmark and turned into like a museum-esque type thing of not just Dawn of the Dead and George A. Romero, the film in there, but just horror as a whole and what it did for the surrounding areas. Because Pittsburgh and that East Coast is crazy amount of horror movies have been filmed in there, especially in the early days. So that's just my tangent. I think it's bullshit and it should be turned and preserved, but that's just me.
Okay. I don't like this whatsoever. I actually hate the whole concept of this. I remember, I think it was about a year ago, me and Colby discussed about them buying it. And it was announced that they're going to re-innovate it, like remodel it to like make it better and looking and like kind of like upgrade it a little bit, but leave it the same. And I thought, great idea. Like, not only Dawn of the Dead was filmed in Pennsylvania, but Night of the Living Dead was also. And that cemetery, everybody knows about that cemetery. You visited there, Ian. I've seen a lot of other people go there, and a lot of the people love this mall. Like, I've seen the original Dawn of the Dead, and to know that that mall is still there after all these years is incredible, because a lot of stuff in horror movies, like especially back in the 70s, we don't have anymore. It's either gone, like demolished, or it's like withered down to like anything. And to have that one thing there and everyone loves it is just a travesty. And to be honest with you, I think this is a load of bullshit, because all you're going to do is tear it down and probably build another store or another distribution center right there. And we got plenty of enough of both of those things all around America right now.
So Obviously I'm not a fan of this idea. So I'm gonna look at it from two different angles. First, as a horror fan, I love that mall. Like you said, I'm very close to it. I'm within a 90-minute drive to Monroeville. So I've spent a lot of time there. Like in my earlier or my younger days, like I would just drive there just to be in the mall. Like I wasn't there for any other reason than to just be in the place where Dawn of the Dead was filmed. So I have this attachment to the place. I will say that over the years, it's been remodeled numerous times, so it's nothing like the movie. Now, it still took place there. It was still filmed there, but the inside is nothing like the movie. It's completely different. There's maybe a back hallway that's the same, and that's about it. So once you're in the mall, it doesn't feel like it. The outside is the same for the most part, so that still holds. And there has in the past, I don't know, 5 years or so, they've taken the Night of the Living Dead museum that was in another location and have moved it into the mall. So there's a little shop, and then the whole museum is in the mall now, as well as I think a bronze statue of George A. Romero.
Oh wow!
So like that's all fucking gnarly. So yeah, as a horror fan, I hate this news. Like Dakota said, like when they first announced that Walmart bought it, they were supposed to keep it intact. They were just going to kind of redo it, add more stuff to it, whatever. But as obviously malls have kind of died out, especially after COVID. I know my local mall is a fucking ghost house. There's not much left there. A lot of other local malls are the same way. Monroeville still is pretty fucking popping. Like when you go there, there's not a whole lot of, at least the last time I was there, there's not a whole lot of stores that are, or a whole lot of empty spaces. So it is still a very functioning mall. So it is kind of surprising that they are deciding to go that route. But on the other hand, looking at it from a business standpoint, malls are dying.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's many malls that are no longer functioning. So to keep it as a mall from a business standpoint, probably not the best decision. I'm not sure what their plans are with this. Once they demolish it and build whatever, whether it be like a new, like he said, store or a whole new plaza or whatever. But I mean, Walmart's not dumb. Like they're billionaires for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm sure whatever their plans are, it's going to be something that brings them more revenue. So from a business standpoint, I get it. From a horror fan standpoint, I hate it. So it's like, it's one of those like, I get it, but I'm not happy about it type deals. I'll definitely be back there numerous times in the next 2 years. Definitely filming content there to bring more awareness to it. I hope there's a lot of pushback for it, but again, going up against Walmart,
shit,
the chances of them changing their mind are very, very slim.
Yeah,
so, we'll see.
Yeah, they got lawyers on lawyers on lawyers.
Yeah.
So, but I like how you think about it from multiple perspectives. It's not just the horror fan, but it's the other aspect of things, the cause and effect of everything. So I appreciate your outlook on it for sure.
Yeah. It's shitty no matter what, but
yeah.
What's up?
I was going to agree with you on that after hearing you out. Like, I got 2 malls near me. Technically 3. One is like down like Greenville, South Carolina, and like that one's booming. Like Greenville was big, everyone loves to go there. The other 2 I got, the one in my hometown and the one like in Asheville. The Asheville one, a lot of people go there, but you could tell like the whole entire Sears side, since Sears went bankrupt, everything, there's nothing there, so it's dead.
Yeah.
But like the other side, the only thing that is like really big and booming in there is Belk's, JCPenney's, but it sounds like JCPenney's is probably go bankrupt soon. The Barnes and Noble in there, Hot Topic, and Spencer's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And probably like Hollister in them, but that's about it. My
Yeah.
mall, to be honest with you, they have like redone it where we have like Five Below, like Ulta, TJ Maxx, Ross, and all of them. So it's kind of like become like a little plaza, but inside a mall.
Okay.
Like the Joann's just closed and they just put Spirit in there. So that's after Spirit's done for the season, that space is going to be empty again. What I'm thinking, because how like a lot of indoor malls are like dying, it seems like the new big thing is like outlet malls, like outside, kind of like the plaza type where you go in. So to be honest with you, I'm not shocked if Walmart does try to like make some type of thing like that and still have the mall fill, but just do it kind of like that way instead, where it could get more things in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, like if they do demolish it, whatever they do with that, like it's gonna suck. But I get it from that standpoint. But hopefully they at least have enough respect to like to put something in there, whatever they do, that is like this is the place where Dawn of the Dead was filmed.
Yeah.
Like whether they keep the little bust of Romero or just some sort of little plaque or something, just something that like still remembers what came before it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So up next,
Yeah.
this is rough news. The Curse of La Llorona. Part of the Conjuring universe. We all know how we all feel about the Conjuring universe. I know you guys probably don't know, but Ian don't like it either. Same like me, Colby, Goobs, Rob. Not like the spin-offs mostly. I don't like them, even though I haven't seen them. I heard they're terrible. But the worst one I heard is the Curse of La Llorona. But it looks like we're getting a sequel. Thankfully, this was not directed by Michael Chavez, so I think
God.
that I think they have learned that Michael Chavez is like ruined this whole entire thing. Yeah, I don't know why they're making this. How you two feel about it? We already know what Goose thinks.
Yeah, I don't. I saw that the other day, the headline, and I was just like, why? Like, I don't know. Like, when it comes to The Conjuring, I'm a big fan of the first two movies, and I'm a big fan of Annabelle, the second one, like the prequel.
You talking about Creations?
Yes,
Yeah,
Annabelle Creation. Everything else though is fucking terrible. So I'm at the point where like I'll watch the new Conjuring whenever it's available to watch, but I didn't go to the theater to see it. Like I have no desire to like, I don't like all my like hype for the Conjuring ended after Conjuring 2. Because I did really like those first two movies, but yeah, the Curse of La Llorona it's right up there with like the first Annabelle and The Nun for me. I think they're all fucking terrible movies. So to like have another one, like why? Like I don't care who directs it. I'm not going to be excited for this. I'm trying to think, like even if it was like a Mike Flanagan name, like it's I don't know, it's still just like in that universe, and I just don't care. Like I don't know, I don't think there's anything that could bring me back to like caring about that universe.
Yeah, they've just made it into such just a bland, basic horror franchise. There's nothing to be excited about it. Like you said, I'll watch it, but I won't go out and seek it.
Yeah, 100%.
What's worse about this, like not only this, but like the Curse of La Llorona, it done so bad, like critically, like the worst in the franchise at that time, that they started to say afterwards, oh yeah, this is not part of the universe, which total bullshit it is. They just don't want to connect to it.
Well, that was going to be my question too. Is like, is this one actually going to be part of the universe? Because I mean, the first one definitely is, but it's like there's like one line that connects it.
Yeah.
Like it's not oversaturated with Warrens and everything else that most of the spinoffs are. So like, is this one gonna be?
I think it's so. I'm thinking so because James Wan is still attached to produce.
Cool.
Yeah.
I wish he'd stop because I love James Wan, but
I know.
To be honest, stop this and start. If you want to be honest, where even though Blumhouse has got the Saw franchise now, I want him to focus more on that because that is his like baby technically. Like he started with that. Focus more on that than this whole entire thing. Like technically, Last Rites, a lot of people didn't like it. Just end with that. Don't even do the prequel show. Just let it be, and just still with the Insidious, Blumhouse, Saw, and everything else that you got coming up.
But we're bringing back legacy characters that died in the first one. Fuck it. God.
Yeah, I'm surprised that news wasn't in this news, because I did see a headline about Jason Blum saying that James Wan and Lee Winnell were going to be more involved with Saw now since it's their property. But I feel the same. Like I shouldn't say I feel the same way because I love Saw, even though I'm not a huge fan of like anything after 3. I still like. It's still a guilty pleasure. I still enjoy that shit. But I feel the same way when it comes to just keeping it going. Because again, I love James Wan. I love Lee Winnell. But for Blum to be like, hey, they're gonna be back in it, or they're gonna be like more involved in it, like I don't really care unless it's a brand new story. Like it's kind of the same as like Scream. Like get away from Jigsaw, get away from Amanda, and like Scream, like get the fuck away from Sydney and all of them involved, and give me something new. Because if it's just the same regurgitation of bringing Tobin Bell and I can't remember, Shawnee Smith, and just putting them in wigs or backwards hats, like I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And that's how I feel about the con. Like how many more fucking stories can we make up to suck these fucking people's dicks? Like I'm over it.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd agree with you on that. Like with Assault, like I agree with you. When I thought Blumhouse took it, I thought it was going to be an entire reboot. Like they're going to reboot it. If you wanted to, never mind. Scrap what I was just going to say right there. Do a fresh story. Do a new like killer. Like Spiral tried to do that, but people didn't like it because
Spiral. I know.
I do too.
Yeah,
I know.
Spiral was people.
Yeah, like everyone hated on Spiral because it wasn't the same thing. It wasn't Jigsaw. But like it's not as good as those first few Saw movies, granted. But like it's at least kind of trying to do its own thing and going in a different direction, and that's what the fuck it needs.
Yeah.
Like so, I don't want a reboot or a remake of Saw, but like give me something in that world, but that's not the same fucking repetitive shit of this apprentice and again fucking Tobin Bell and Shawnee Smith back fucking 30 years older, but this was before the first movie. Like stop that shit. I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
The only thing I want connected to that universe is a sequel to Spiral, because at the end of that movie, you see that the killer gets away. So I want to see how that story ends because we're just left in the water now about that story.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me more of that. Haters gonna hate.
Right. All right. Got the next piece of news here. We have a Black Phone 2 popcorn bucket that is releasing at AMC. And it's what you think it is. It's the Black Phone.
I don't know where the popcorn goes. I was looking for a picture. I couldn't find one anywhere.
I'm wondering if the packet's going to open up.
It probably is.
I don't know. But regardless, I'm going Thursday. I don't know when I'm seeing the movie. Probably sometime this weekend. But I'm going Thursday before work to try and get this fucking popcorn bucket because like it's so cool. It's just a fucking phone, but it's so cool.
Do you think the phone comes off like
I hope so. If it doesn't, then I'm not buying it.
That'd be super.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm probably gonna buy it still. But I'll be very upset if I cannot hold that fucking phone in my hand.
Because I mean that would just be it has to.
Yeah. 100%.
To be honest with you, I'm trying to cut down on the popcorn buckets like really bad. Like I know I got the Michael like Michael was my favorite one, so I had to buy the Michael.
I just need one more. Yeah. One more popcorn bucket.
As you guys see,
rehab over here.
I bought the grabber cup. Like you guys know, I love the black phone. Excited for the black phone too.
That cup fucks though. I get it.
And to be honest with you, if AMC's got it available to purchase online or pre-order, I'm putting it in. I kind of don't care how much it is. Yeah. Unless if it's $100, I probably won't pay $100 for it.
No, fuck that. That's stupid. I don't get nearly as hard into popcorn buckets as like you or Colby do. But the really cool ones, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get that. So, and that one is just it's so unique. Like even though it's just an old ass phone, but it's so unique as a popcorn bucket that like, yeah, I want that.
So up next, we got some video game news because it's the spooky season. Horror characters are starting to drop in video games right now. So Call of Duty they're having I think it's the Haunt. It's kind of like what Fortnite does with Fortnitemares.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Chucky and Jason are going to be in Call of Duty. They're already available. They dropped. Let me think. When they dropped this past Thursday. So they're in the game, both available right now. Am I going to get? No, I haven't played Call of Duty in like the past 6 months. The game's just boring anymore.
Is it just an operator in a Chucky suit? Because just imagine if it was an actual
I think actually
Chucky. Is. Just imagine the hitbox on that motherfucker.
Yeah, right. No, Call of Duty is always just a fucking normal person in a fucking suit.
Yeah, but I don't play Call of Duty anymore. So
dude, I used to go hard. Like when I streamed, that was my primary game. And I loved the haunting like every Halloween. But no, I haven't fucked with it in like probably 2 years at least. And yeah, I mean, I was looking at it too today. Like I was thinking of video ideas and I was going to do another Fortnite one. And then I was looking at what was out for Call of Duty and I was like, this is cool. And I know the Predator is out there too in Call of Duty. But I was just like, this is like, I love Chucky. I love Jason. I love Predator, but like, these are kind of lame.
Yeah.
Like when it comes down to it. And I know they introduced art like a year or two ago, and I was like, this looks fucking terrible. Yeah. And like the price that you pay for that shit,
bro.
Like at least Fortnite, like they look pretty good.
Yeah. I agree.
On Call of Duty, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like you don't even try. You just throw some fucking colors together and call it something, and that's it.
The other thing with the Call of Duty, like me and Colby got art when it dropped, but you get the skin for a month and the new game comes out and it's like the skin don't go over. It only stays in Warzone.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
that's a
anyway. But yeah, I get it.
That's a whole bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Call of Duty is just a fucking money making scheme. That's all that is.
Yeah. Then the next one, speaking of skins, we got quite a few dropping in Fortnite. We have Jason, Ghostface, the Grabber from the Black Phone, and Art the Clown are getting official Fortnite skins.
Let me tell you how many people were upset that I made a video making fun of Jared Leto being in Fortnite.
Dude, that video was hilarious.
And they counter-argued it with the fact that there's horror characters coming. And like I get it. Like art is so big right now. Like my daughter is going to be Art for Halloween this year. Like she's never seen the movies, but like she loves the character. So like I get it. But like, the Grabber is kind of weird just because of like what he does. But at the same time, like whatever. It's a movie. But yeah, like the general audience of like video games and just entertainment in general fucking blows my mind. It's fucking weird.
They're cool. I'll probably try to get at least one of them, but the next Fortnite skin I'm going to get this upcoming week is the K-pop Demon Hunters for my daughters.
Yeah, I had to buy one of those already.
Yeah. So that's the one that I'm going to get. But if I were to get any of them from this one, actually, I wouldn't really go for any of these ones. I'd go for the Ash bundle that they got right now.
I love Ash.
It's so cool. But off topic.
Yeah. So, I forget when Ash came out, but I bought that shit immediately.
Yeah.
I think Ash came out 3 years ago. So I got Ash, Michael, Billy. Ghostface just came out this past Friday.
Yeah.
So I got that. Me, Ian, Colby. Yeah, we all got that. Jason comes out Saturday. This coming Saturday. The Grabber comes out Thursday before the movie drops. Art, you said, Ian, what is it rumored again?
That's a good question. I forget. I don't have it pulled up anymore.
I thought
what did I say?
22nd.
I did. Yeah, I think it was the 22nd, according to that one random person on Facebook. So like,
shout out
one random person.
Yeah, it's probably right because typically that's correct. But if it's not right, don't take it from me. It was a random guy on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I got one more piece of news that I just thought of before we head on to our main topic. It's not that horror, but we did talk about the second movie a couple weeks ago getting delayed. It was announced that Mortal Kombat 3 is now in development, which give me it at this point.
How are you going to delay the second one and then go, don't worry, we got the third one in the making? Come on.
Yeah, I don't understand the marketing or any of that shit with certain things sometimes, because like I'm already upset that 2 got delayed by 6 months, and then you're like, oh well, Mortal Kombat 3 is on its way. Like how much trust do I have in you? Because I was expecting Mortal Kombat 2, like the fact that there's trailers in the theater, there's posters in the theater, and then out of nowhere you're like, oh, we're gonna push that back 6 months. And then you're going to say Mortal Kombat 3 is in production? Like, get the fuck out of here. I do not care. Like, I'm already at like 50% of the hype that I was at for the second movie. So, like, why the fuck do I care about a third movie now?
Right.
Any, like I said, any hype or like any trust that I had going into the second movie is now dropped drastically. And you pushing it back 6 months tells me that your movie is fucking garbage. So why would I care about a third movie? Because if that's the case and they pushed it back because it's not good, it's probably going to flop, and your third movie isn't going to fucking happen anyway.
Right.
Like this is Strangers all over again. So like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. It don't make no sense. But what does make sense is our main topic.
Fuck yeah.
And that main topic is Rob Zombie himself. Now, I guess I will start off the question. I guess I'll start off the conversation because he's a very touchy subject. For whatever reason, he's a very touchy subject when you start talking about his movies and films and everything like that. For whatever reason. But since we're all on this episode, I kind of know what you guys feel, but what do you think he is as a horror director when it comes to, on the grand scale of horror directors? Where do you see him?
Rob Zombie now, I think he's just like one of the horror directors, right? Like with the movies we get right now, his stuff when it comes out, it's nothing new anymore. It's violent, it's grotesque, but what horror movie isn't anymore? Back when he started with House of the Thousand Corpses, then it was very controversial because of the subject matter in that movie around that time, how hard it goes. because there was an interview. I think it was when he was doing the first Halloween. They asked him about House of the Thousand Corpses, right? And I think it was Universal that was supposed to have it at first. They watched the movie, didn't like it whatsoever because of how vulgar it was, how grotesque it was, and everything. And they were like, no. Then it was, I think, a couple months or like a year because he filmed that thing quite ago. I think he showed it to Universal back in like '99.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, it took like 4 years for even a studio to pick it up. The Lionsgate actually picked it up. So just with his films, I could see, because of course, like once we talk into certain movies, sometimes I think the dialogue does get overhanded in the movies a little bit in the subject matter for certain movies. But I think you should know that going to a Rob Zombie movie because one, if you listen to his music, like he's not Peaches and Rainbows or like your normal rock music. He goes like fucking hard in his music.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like the easiest way to put this. Rob Zombie is one of us. Like that dude is such a horror fan that like it's crazy. Like and I always immediately my mind always goes back to MTV Cribs and when they showed his house, because not only is it full, and I'm sure he has a different house at this point, but like at that time it was full of horror movies, horror movie memorabilia, props from movies, fucking statues. Like it was a fucking horror heaven for me.
Yeah.
And at that time it was still VHS. Like I remember his whole fucking like hallway is just full of horror movies. So like he has such a love and passion for horror movies. And to define Rob Zombie as a filmmaker, he's an indie filmmaker with a massive budget. But with the massive budget comes the fucking studios that just constantly break down his films.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know why so many people hate on him. I don't know if that's the cool thing to do, or what. And I get it. Like when it comes to dialogue, it's very white trash. Like that's just what it is. And I feel like that's just he writes what he knows. Not saying he's white trash, but like I don't know what his upbringing was like, but I'm guessing it was very similar to the characters that he writes.
Right.
So I get that. And like I said, he adds so many, like he takes pieces and inspiration from so many different horror movies that he's loved, his entire life, and puts aspects of all of those into his movies. And it's not in like a rip off kind of way. Like it's more like a nod and a respect way that I see it. So that's the easiest way I can say it, is that he's an indie filmmaker that has the name that can get the massive budgets, but he's also at the whim of the fucking studios that typically fuck up his movies.
Right.
But I love Rob Zombie. I prefer Rob Zombie as a director over a musician, and I still love his music, but I think his movies are far better.
100%. Yeah, as far as a filmmaker goes, I think just his eye for horror and his love for horror puts him up into some of the best, in my opinion, of course, because, but I put him as one of the best modern horror directors that we've had over the last few decades. I mean, his body of work, you can tell, like, no pun intended, but the blood, the sweat, everything that goes into his movies is straight from showing love to what actual, horror is. Like you said, indie, but with a big studio behind it, with the money aspect of it. I think he has such an eye for things, how he shoots his films, how he is able to make you feel while watching the movies, feel gross, feel like uncomfortable, and some also scared in other movies. I love him as a filmmaker, and he is one of my favorites in the whole landscape of horror.
100%.
And I don't understand. I think you kind of hit it on the head, and same with Dakota. I know a lot of people don't like the dialogue, the exploitation of his films and things like that. But if you think about it, those type of films is what built a lot of modern day horror. Texas Chainsaw, Hills Have Eyes. Then you get into more early 2000s with Rob Zombie, Wrong Turn, all these different sub genre of horror with that, for lack of a better word, the backwoods white trash people. But it's in a way, like you said, where it's just done in a way to pay homage to what came before him. And even in his films, he puts all that into his films, not just in how it's made, but also he'll throw direct references into the movie, whether it's in the background or whatever. But I fucking love him as a filmmaker. Funny thing, I never really listened to his music, but I'll watch the shit out of his movies.
Hell yeah.
But I want to go into what he's most famous for, because Dakota has seen all of these. So we can jump right into the Firefly trilogy if you guys would like.
Yeah, I'm down for whatever. I'll talk about all of them.
Yeah. So, Dakota, you're kind of the newer horror fan, and like, what in this, I don't know how to even ask the question, but I guess, what do you think of this trilogy as itself? And you can go from movie to movie, or we can start out with House of a Thousand Corpses and just go from there.
Okay, just before we get down to the movies as a whole, as this trilogy, I think this trilogy is pretty good. Is it the best trilogy out there? Horror trilogy? No. Is it some of his best movies? For me, it's not. But it's some good movies. House. I'm just going to say a little bit about each of them before we break it down. House, I enjoy House. Devil's Rejects, I need to rewatch it because that was kind of like here and there for me. But after just done watching Three from Hell, enjoyed it. I heard that one out of the whole entire trilogy is fans' least favorite, but I do really enjoy that one. If I had to do a ranking real quick of just the trilogy, House would be first, Three from Hell would be second, Devil's Rejects would be in third.
Damn. All right.
Woo.
I respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot, I guess Ian, you can go first. Like I said, I'm with you. I could talk about them all day. I don't think we got to go in order or have any type of thing.
No, but I could talk Rob Zombie all day.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's fine. So yeah, House of Corpses was his first movie. And fun fact, I did not like it the first time I watched it. I was not a fan. I was in that mindset of this feels like Texas Chainsaw, and this feels like this, and this dialogue's terrible, and all these white trash characters. So it took me a while to come around to it. But it obviously I watched it, like something made me watch it more and more. And the more I watched it, the more I loved it. And eventually it just clicked, and I was like, this is one of my favorite movies. Now, Devil's Rejects held the number one title for a very long time. But now, as I've gotten older, I've learned to appreciate House. And spoiler alert, it's my favorite of his. Because it's just so fucking fun. Just between the characters and the cast and what happens, just the the progression from the opening scene to the end scene, there's just so much in there.
Yeah.
And I love it all. Captain Spaulding, even though I wasn't a fan of the film at first, like Captain Spaulding, I loved right out the gate. But yeah, it's so again, it's something that it took some time, but I really enjoyed it eventually. And then Devil's Rejects, I loved from the very first time I watched it. Just like I love that it's the same characters, but it's such a different vibe and atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like the first one is very much the love letter to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but then the second one is like this, like just fucking realistic, dirty, gritty feel to it. And he took the like maniacal characters and just fucking bumped them up to 100 because they're the worst characters, but like you still love them. Like they do the most heinous shit, but I'm still like, I'm not rooting for them, but I like these characters. Like, you know, Otis is very like Charlie Manson vibe, and Baby isn't nearly as annoying as she is in House 1000 Corpses. So I like that. And, you know, in Spaulding, he just has those lines. So I love that. And then for many, many years, I never thought we were going to get 3 from Hell. Like I always wanted it. Like I always heard about it, but it was one of those things. It was like Trick or Treat 2 or Behind the Mask 2. Like I'm like, I keep hearing about it, but it's never going to happen. And then finally he announced it and he was like, we're working on it. But unfortunately, Sid Haig, you know, started getting really sick. And this one gets so much hate. And I'll be the first to admit it's not nearly as good as the first 2 for me, but it is still a solid fucking movie. Yeah. And I completely understand. Like he had to, every day he was rewriting stuff because Sid was just getting more sick and more sick. Yeah. And a lot of people are like, well, why would you make it if Captain Spaulding can't be in it if Sid was so sick? But I also get it because like he was very close to Sid and they together wanted to make this. Yeah. So like if there's any chance to make it with him being a part of it in any way, like why wouldn't you do it? So it sucks that the end result was very different from what the beginning was of what 3 from Hell was going to be, but at the same time, like I love it for that reason. Like it makes me sad seeing Sid in that state, but at the same time, like we get to see Captain Spaulding one last time. Yeah. Like not for very long, but like I'll take what I can get. And I thought what he did with it, like given that unfortunate events of Sid passing away, like what he was able to do with that movie and kind of still make the story work, I think it's fucking solid. Yeah. So like, yeah, the Firefly trilogy isn't the best trilogy in all of film, but it's pretty fucking good. And it's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I totally agree. It took me a while to come around to House because like you said, it's so chaotic. It's just scattered here and there. There's so much going on. And I just was like, what is happening right now? And then honestly rewatched it today while at work. And there's so much that you pick up on I guess, like you said, the older you get, the more appreciation you have for it. Yes, it has the dirty, grimy early 70s aesthetic of early 70s American horror, but he also, with the lighting choices that he was able to use with those reds and those blues, it kind of throws you back to like Suspiria, the OG Suspiria, with the usage of the lights and the giallos and just the little things that he put into that, where you see like, oh shit, this is like, yeah, it's gross, it's gritty, it's nasty and violent, but it's also polished in a way that it is all homage to horror. He's even got clips of 1941's Wolfman when he's doing the palm reading and it shows the mark of the thing like on the TV in the background. So many different things are going on where you're just like, shit. And then it goes absolutely bananas. at the same time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're just like, holy shit. And I've come to love his chaotic style throughout this trilogy, because if you notice, like within this trilogy, he's very not shaky cam, but he's very rough camera angles and like really sharp edits and how he goes through. With this one for sure, because you know you have real close up shots, like boom, and then pulls it back real fast. And then when you get into the Devil's Rejects, it flushes more of the main characters out with Baby, Captain Spaulding, and Otis, and you kind of get more of their personalities on an individual level throughout it. And like you said, Otis is just a menace, and just
100%.
like rewatching, I'm just like, God damn. Like, because you don't really see it a lot in in House. You know, you see him as the older brother and like, damn, this guy's crazy. But then when you get into Devil's Rejects, it just blossoms into this dude is an absolute psychopath in so many different ways. And what they go through, there's really no rhyme or reason why they're doing it. They're just like that. And there's that sense of realism that there are some fucking psychotic ass people out there that have this type of capability in their brains that they'll just do what they want to do and just go that route. And this one had that that more character driven, but still didn't shy away from how bloody and gory it got. And then when you get into Three from Hell, like you said, it sucks seeing. And I hadn't watched it since it came out, and I haven't watched it since. And then seeing Sid Haig, just the totally different, just you can just tell. But he still had that Captain Spaulding vibe. He still had that the mannerisms behind it, and then the addition to the group with Richard Brake as the half brother I thought was a fantastic idea. One, I'm partial to Richard Brake, obviously, because he's just fantastic, but it just showed like the story will continue, and these characters, even with Sid's passing, he's still there. He's still within the story, and throughout the film, you just still get the love, the bond, and the family orientation of these characters. Like you said, they're not good people, but they still have the family connection, and they still have the love for each other, and they'll protect each other even though they're psychopaths. And that fucking last scene, the last 20-30 minutes of Three from Hell is one of my favorite sequences of the trilogy, when they're in Mexico, and that the Red Satans or the Red Devils or whatever it's called, like that 30-minute segment is one of my favorites in the whole trilogy. And one more thing, the music choices that he makes for his films, the intros, the outros, the in-between segments, they're just so perfect and go with the movie. And I'm sorry for the long tangent, but rewatching it, I watched all three of them back to back to back today, and just seeing it progress with no breaks in between, it's fucking solid, you know. And if we were gonna rank them, I'd probably put Three from Hell, House, and then Devil's Rejects. Well, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I totally did that backwards. But yeah, Three from Hell, House, and then Devil's Rejects at the top.
Oh yeah.
And it just, that trilogy is solid to have under his resume. Just, you know what I mean? It's the horror trilogy for dirty, gross horror fans.
Yeah.
in
100%.
the best possible way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, House is always my go-to whenever I'm trying to make the point of like stop shitting on movies just because you didn't like it the first time you watched it. Like there are certain ones that like I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. There's no redeeming. I don't think 20 years from now I'm gonna like that movie. But there's always those especially in our world of like the TikTok, Instagram creator world of like, I didn't like this movie, so fuck it, with no explanation.
Right.
Like I said, like I didn't like House of Corpses. It took me a few years to come around to it, and it took me even more years to finally like get it and love it. And now it's literally one of my favorite movies of all time.
Right.
So like, just because you don't like it right now doesn't mean that 10 years from now you're not gonna love it. So stop being a fucking twat. Shit, there was something else I was gonna say too, and I forgot, but I don't know. I'll say it if I think of it.
Yeah, it's so good, and like I said, that's true grit and grimy and dirty filmmaking to a T.
Yeah,
but when we go further, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Rob's on. There's very few filmmakers that can get so many horror legends into one film and it be good.
Yeah,
because there's so many movies out there, so many there's so much marketing that's like this person, like Felissa Rose and Kane Hodder in this movie, or pick any big name in horror movies. There's this ensemble cast in this movie, and most times it's not good. But there's two that I can always count on, and there's a third on the way. But it's Rob Zombie, because he always gets the most like just fucking mind-blowing horror actors, like horror legends in his movies. And I fucking love his movies. I think they're not bad movies by any means. It's him, Adam Green, and Damien Leone is on his way.
Yeah.
Because I love his movies, but I don't think he's been in it long enough to say like he's up there with them. No. But they're the only ones that I'm like, they can get as many horror legends in one movie, and I know that movie is still gonna fucking rip.
Yeah, 100%. And you got some, Dakota?
I was going to say this. I do agree with Ian. I think that's a great take by Ian, that he does do good with that game. Like, if you look at, like, before I get into my 3 from Hell thing that I think they should have done better, 3 from Hell, you see, fucking shit. Who's Ron Howard's brother?
Clint Howard.
Oh, Clint Howard. He's in it.
Yeah.
That surprised me when I saw him. Dee Wallace is in it. Newhart automatically. David Roebuck. He's one of the news reporters in it. But if you look, Richard Brake. To be honest, the first thing I saw Richard Brake in was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and I will explain by his character. Didn't like him whatsoever after watching that. But I've got a newfound appreciation for him as an actor, because I think it's just Rob's dialogue that made me turned off from his character in that movie, and probably him as an actor. But seeing him and everything else, outstanding. But the one thing I wish they'd done right, I know, like we all said, Sig was sick and getting sicker at the time, and like Ian said, they were rewriting the script. I just wished his character died in like a better circumstance, kind of like a Captain Spaulding circumstance, except on death row, probably like some breakout in the prison and he got like stabbed or something, or like he escaped and there was like a big old shootout and he got killed in the shootout. Just him dying on death row, just it just turned me off a little bit of what Captain Spaulding is in the first two movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, it all comes down to like Sid had to sit. So like if you saw him up and about, it would not be Sid. It would have had to been like a stand-in actor.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why he went that route. But like I totally understand. Like, yeah, I would love to see Captain Spaulding go out in a Captain Spaulding way. But again, it was just the way it had to be if he kept Sid in that role.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say I get a lot of shit for it because going back to the casting, yes, he gets a lot of the horror icons throughout his films, but just his general casting for what he puts together and puts on film is the perfect casting. I know it's his wife and everybody gets annoyed with his wife, but he knows how to direct her in a way that fits what the movie is. I'll go over more when we go into another movie, which is more on like a different level because it's definitely a different character than Baby and 3 from Hell, or 31 and stuff like that. But he's able to put the cast that will do the best for his movies. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? I don't think you could put I don't fuck it. Shout out to Colby. You couldn't put a Sydney Sweeney in a Rob Zombie movie. It just wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't work. So he is able to do what he does best because he's able to cast how he does. And I find it a great attribute for that.
And I think that comes back to being such a horror fan and having such respect for it because he knows these actors, like he knows these icons, and he knows what they've been in, and like he is a fan of their work. So it's not like I said, like with 90% of the other ones that have these big names on these shit movies, like for the most part, I don't think those directors or those filmmakers know who these people are. It's just like, hey, we'll get this name because they're known, and then we're gonna put them in this movie, and they don't have any idea or knowledge of these people. Whereas Rob does. So he's not just casting these people because they're big names.
Right.
Like he writes and I don't know his writing process. This is all speculation, but like I would assume that he writes these roles with these people in mind because he knows what they are capable of and what they will do good in, or what roles fit them. And to go on another tangent quick, the whole Sherry Moon Zombie, like that, I just wish that hate would fucking stop. Like, I get it. I was part of that crowd at first too, of like, oh, he puts his wife in every movie and she's not good. Sherry Moon Zombie is not an actress. Like I think she's been in one other movie that was not a Rob Zombie movie. Like, she's not an actress. She is in like every music video of his since they've been together, and she's in his movies. Like, and I think that's fucking cool. Like, if I was a filmmaker and my wife like was an actress, quote unquote, like she could act to some degree, why would I not put her in my movie? Like, why would I not want to go through that process and have that experience with the person I love the most in the world? 100%. So like, and he's not the only one that does it. There's numerous directors out there. Fucking Paul W. Sanderson does it with every fucking movie with his wife, and she's fucking way worse than Sherry Moon Zombie. And no one gives him shit. So like, I get it. Like, yeah, Tim Burton with every fucking one of his wives. Like, so I don't understand what everyone's problem is with Sherry Moon Zombie. Like, yes, there are some characters that are annoying. Like I said, Baby's annoying in Hostiles and Corpses. I still love her, but I'm not going to say she's not annoying in that movie.
Right.
But like, I completely get it. Like, if that's the person that he loves the most in the world, and he's doing the coolest fucking thing in the world, making movies, horror movies at that, why would you not share that experience with your wife? So like, I don't know. All the hate is just like it. It's just like everything else. It just comes down to like, I don't know. Are you jealous? Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just fucking annoying.
100%, dude. So I rewatched Lords of Salem, and the very first time I watched it, I was like, "This is slow. I don't like it. It wasn't hitting for me on any level." I was like, "What in the absolute hell is this process?" Right? And I sat down and I rewatched it. I had my headphones in and I just locked in. This is his best shot movie, hands down, 100%. The way that he goes from his shaky, chaotic, just off the wall style with House and Devil's Rejects, and of course this one came out before 31 and Three from Hell. But this one, after watching horror movies and getting more into it, watching this one again, I was like, holy shit, this shows that this motherfucker is a filmmaker. He's not just a horror director that throws blood and guts everywhere. This dude is just a filmmaker through and through. The way that he was able to get these slow, eerie hallway shots, the long, drawn-out hallway shots, incredible. One, I hate hallway shots in general because they're just creepy as hell. But this one was slow and deliberate and just on purpose. The grayish hue that's over this whole movie, the dingy use of grays and even blues in some instances and shadows throughout these shots. This is a fucking film.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's one of the most clever ways of clever storytelling ways of the Salem witch trials, in my opinion. I love how it kind of all comes together at the end, and you're just like, it leaves it up to your interpretation on kind of like what actually went down. And I watched an interview where he said that's kind of where I wanted it to be. Like, I kind of wanted you to get there and then you make the decision kind of thing. And this is Sherry Moon Zombie's best performance ever. The way that she spirals down into paranoia and wondering what the fuck is going on with these visions that she's having, the paranormal, supernatural things that are happening, not knowing what's real and what's not. And then it turns it into a kind of an allegory for addiction and relapse. And I had so much more respect for this film, and it just blew me the fuck away. It was, this is where it's going to sound weird as fuck, but this is where you get to see inside of his mind and how he is able to come up with these original stories and how it just is he's creative. He knows how to write a story. He knows how to put things on film that you can see in other movies. Yeah, some people will take inspiration from The Shining and these hallway scenes with Stanley Kubrick, but this motherfucker puts these on there and puts it into a T where it is so deliberate and so, it just blew me away. And I know I'm rambling, but like I said, I just rewatched it and it's so good. And the way that it was able to transfer through music, the sound design, like I said, I had my headphones in, and the way that when the record was playing, I was just like, the sound design, this is his fucking best movie, filmmaking wise, hands down.
Mm-hmm. I agree, 100%. If the Firefly, at least the first two Firefly films then did not exist, this is my favorite Rob Zombie movie, and I agree. I think it is his best made movie. And I mean, all of his movies take place in the 70s, or at least have that 70s feel to it. But this is the most 70s movie out of his filmography. Again, it's another one that gets a lot of hate, but I don't get why. But like I love movies from the 70s. No, I'm one to go back and watch a lot of films from the 80s and 70s and further back and whatnot. And there are a lot of gnarly movies from the 70s, but you get a lot of like really crazy shit and then a lot of kind of time in between and then more crazy shit. And this is like a culmination of all the crazy shit in one movie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like it's an awesome fucking story, an awesome take on the witch trials. But then you also get just those weird, creepy shots just inserted that don't make a whole lot of sense, but they're creepy as fuck and they just work.
Bro. Yeah.
And yeah, like the cast, again, the cast in every movie of his is fantastic, but yeah, just the not the relationship, but just like the interaction between the cast and the characters, like it just all fucking flows. It just works.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's creepy as fuck. It goes fucking hard. I absolutely love Lords of Salem, and it's the one too that he actually wrote the novelization of the movie after the film came out. And it goes into a little more detail into the story as well, and kind of makes it make more sense. So if you haven't read Lords of Salem by Rob Zombie, definitely recommend it. But yeah, this movie, I love this movie with my whole heart. Like I said, if it weren't for House and Devil's Rejects, it would absolutely be my favorite Rob Zombie movie, without question. Like it's just so fucking good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be for everybody for sure, just because of how slow and how the pacing is, but it works for what it is, and like it's.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I don't think it has pacing issues at all. It uses, like I said, it's a culmination of all the crazy shit from the 70s, but it uses the kind of downtime to build up to that.
Yeah.
So I'm locked in the entire time. Like there's not a moment in that movie where I'm like, this is boring, or I wish this would speed up. Like I'm there for it every second of that fucking movie.
Yeah. I don't think it has pacing issues for myself either. I just meant as far as like for other people, it may seem like it drags because, like you said, that there is some downtime, but it is setting up for what's to come.
And that fucking song, I have that song on a playlist on my fucking Spotify. Like I fucking love it.
I don't even know what instruments it is, but it's like the humming and just like that deep bass, and you're just like, whoa.
Yeah, dude, it fucking goes hard. It's so good.
Yeah. And then you have the fucking, like you said, his other movies, you see people getting axed in the stomach and, cut up and stabbed and this and that. That's totally fine. The imagery in this one with the witches at the beginning and then like the flashes through, and then the spoilers, the demon baby thing, absolutely horrific, dude. Like it's so uncomfortable because I think it goes into how it was shot and how things are deliberately placed throughout this film to make you continuously feel uneasy and just you shouldn't be hearing the things and seeing the things that you're seeing.
100%, yeah.
On the rewatch, it blew me away from a technical standpoint to the performance from Sherry Moon. I can't harp on it enough. This one, like I said, her descent into the paranoia and just how her mannerisms and her body language goes throughout this movie is so good. And it's crazy to think from, as baby Firefly to her character in 31, and the striking different, even as Michael's mom in Halloween, it's such a striking difference, and it's just like, holy shit. And that's why I think it works so well with Rob putting her in the movies, because he's able to do those things for the movie. And yeah, it's crazy. Because like I said, I hated it at first too, because I thought it was slow. I thought it didn't make any sense. I thought, it's like, what are we doing here? And then on the rewatch, I was like, I fucking get it. And I think that just goes along with me watching more horror movies and experiencing different horror movies from different time frames and decades and things like that, and going, well, I'll be damned. This is a film.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and having Meg Foster as like the fucking main witch, just fucking chef's kiss. Like, Meg Foster's fucking beautiful. Like, and They Live, fucking 10 out of 10. Like, those eyes, but to make her as this fucking haggard, naked witch in that movie, like,
right?
Oh my god, just perfect fucking casting.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, same.
So, quick question.
Yes.
Of course, I haven't seen this one. Is this his only film that's technically not like kill 'em slasher type of that?
Trying to think.
Out of the main ones we're going to talk about, though.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be the one that's more of the supernatural type-esque films. It's definitely not a splatter film.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, the ones that we're going to talk about are all like, you could all put them in the slasher category to some degree, where this one is not.
Yeah.
This is like, like witch, like it has to do with the Salem witch trials, and it's very witch / supernatural / psychological.
Yeah.
So there's not really any slasher elements in it.
There is a gnarly scene with a fucking cast iron skillet.
Yes. You need to watch it though, like immediately.
I probably will watch this scene though that we're going to talk about tomorrow. Fun fact, I've been keeping this on my recommendations and watch list because Jason Blum actually produces this.
Lords of Salem?
Lords of Salem?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Did not know that.
Well, I mean, that was 2012, so it was before he became the scumbag he is now.
Right.
Back when he actually made good movies.
Right, saying that AI is okay now and stuff. Like, but
yeah, this was before he sold out.
Yeah. And then we can go. Any other comments or anything about Lords of Salem?
Yeah.
Fucking rips. Dakota needs to watch it.
Yes, watch it, and we need a direct text message after you get it done.
Yeah, I would definitely. You guys.
I feel like
I don't know about Ian.
I feel like you're not gonna like it. I just have this feeling because I feel like you haven't seen enough of like 70s horror to fully appreciate it yet. So I feel like I won't be mad if you don't like it the first time, but like come back to it in like 5 to 10 years and you'll probably love it.
Yeah, because that's how I am. But the one that this is my favorite, spoiler alert on my ranking, but this one is my favorite of Rob Zombie's film, and that is 31. From the first time I saw this movie, I absolutely loved it. Yes, I know everybody says after the opening monologue with Richard Brake as Doomhead, which obviously it's one of the best, if not the best, horror opening monologues ever in a film.
Oh,
but
they say
But when people say it falls off from there, I don't understand.
They're full
because
of shit.
because there's the little break that has the setup where you get the characters, and then boom, into the fucking warehouse of just absolute chaos and madness happens. And basically Dakota 31 is a bunch of like carnival workers get kidnapped, and they get put in this like big warehouse, and they have to spend 12 hours being hunted down, and they have to survive these 12 hours. And it's like a big game, and you got a bunch of like rich monarchs basically overlooking the game and just like as entertainment, you know. And
it's kind of like Hunger Games meets Saw.
Yeah. And this one, I don't want to say this is his most like brutal film, but this one is up there as far as like the brutality aspect of it and the splatter, because there is some gnarly ass scenes in this film. And I don't know what it is about this one, but I love it. It's my most rewatched one of his, and I love the characters. Of course, you have Sherry Zombie in this one. She's not as annoying in this one. She has that final girl aesthetic in this one, because this one plays out as a slasher, like you're not traditional slasher, but this plays out in that sense of a slasher-esque type. And she is our final girl in this one. And I think she does a hell of a good job. And the other cast of characters, I mean, you have Richard Brake, of course, as another villain, but even Jeff Daniel Phillips. What's the other guy's name? You have Kevin Jackson and Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, the two brothers in and of course you have Meg Foster again. It's just a great cast of characters. That it's brutal. I don't know. I've always loved this one. I love that there's no real rhyme or reason why these people are doing what they're doing. They're just doing it for entertainment. And it's a Halloween. It's based on, if I'm not mistaken, it's based on Halloween. They do it Halloween night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So it's Halloween theme, everything, and I fucking love it. Not much you could say, because it's just an absolute splatter fest.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I also love this movie. I would love it more if it weren't for the ending. I won't get into it because Dakota hasn't seen it yet.
Oh.
That was what kind of not ruined it by any means, but like I was disappointed by the ending. And even my wife watches, like she's not a horror person by any means, not anymore. But she'll still watch Rob Zombie movies with me, and she felt the same way. Like this very much could have been a prequel to House, and Corpses.
Oh.
If they had gone that route. And so the way that it ended, I didn't enjoy. I wish they would have kind of broke her a bit more, or showed her broken a bit more, and then she literally could have transitioned into baby.
Yeah.
Not that it needed to go that route, but that would have been cool. But no, everything up to that point I absolutely love. Like that, yeah, that opening monologue. When it comes to monologues in movies, that is the best, hands down. And as far as opening scenes, it's one of the best in horror movies. I absolutely love it. And it sets that movie up so well. And there, like, it just continues. Like I personally haven't heard many people like complain about that the opening is so good and then the rest of it's not. I just, hear the usual hate for Rob Zombie movies. But yeah, I loved it all. Like the pacing was fine. Like the opening got me, and then I was hooked from there. and just seeing all these different characters and these clowns, like from the Ponzi Molar at first, like that's a lot to take in. But he killed it. And then like the brother clowns.
Oh man.
And then like fucking E.G. Daily and the lookalike from Die Hard. Like the strobe effect was a bit much. I will say that the first time I watched it, I was like, whoa, like I need to look away for a second because this is a lot.
Yeah,
but no, it's fucking so fucking brutal. It's probably the second most brutal movie in his catalog. The characters, the story, the acting, like everything fucking hits. It was just the ending didn't go the way I was expecting or that I wanted. So I was a bit let down by that, but otherwise this fucking movie is fantastic. Like 31 fucking rips.
Actually, Ian, is his first most brutal movie for you a certain movie we're going to talk about later?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to go off just real quick, kind of. I thought, and I don't know why, I never thought about the, ending being like you could make it into kind of a prequel type of thing, because I personally enjoyed kind of how it ended, and how I'm not going to go too far into it, but I just like that ending sequence, like that ending shot and how everything just shows. And then I was like, because it plays off that, well, what now?
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to say what I want to say, but I don't want to say. So I'll text it to you or something. Okay. Because I like how it sets that up, and I like just where it goes, because there's questions that can be, and there's questions it presents questions of certain characters in the movie and how they really are, if that makes sense. In my brain, it does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like I said, I rewatched it again on Friday, and shit, loved every second of it again. Just
100%. And I think of it, if like that ending with any other director, I'd probably be like, yeah, this is fucking gnarly. But I feel like with Rob, I was just expecting more of a conclusion. I was expecting it to go one particular way, because a lot of his movies go that way. So the fact that it didn't, like, it wasn't, again, what I was expecting. So it's not, doesn't take anything away from the movie for me. It was just, it I don't know, it wasn't what I was expecting. So that's more on me than anything. But yeah, like I said, otherwise though, I love that movie. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I agree. But now we can go into what we've all seen. And Dakota, you can start us off with the Rob Zombie's Halloween movies.
Okay, so I'm a big fan of Halloween, you guys know. So to be honest with you, I'm gonna go a little bit into this. So before I got into horror, like when I was young, like 11, 12, hated horror movies. But for some reason, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, that poster and just that whole entire movie, I was like, I really want to see this. And my brother, like, he's 3 years younger than me, so he's like 8 to 9 at the time. Like, he's seen the original, he's seen probably some of his other movies. I think like House and The Devil's Rejects was out at that time. Not probably the best movies for a 9 or 8-year-old to see, but he did see those. And mom watched them with him. So they looked at me and they're like, Dakota, are you sure this is a movie? And it was the unrated version, of course. And you know how hard that version goes, because I think I've seen that version. So I'm like, yeah, but never saw it. But going into that one, because I watched this one and the first one together for the first time. But going to the first one, I really enjoyed the first one when I first watched it, right? Because I'm like, if it's so good set up for Michael and everything on my first watch. On my second watch, which for the episode of the 2000s that me and Goobs did, rewatched it. And for that, it's not that good as I thought it was. There's everything post Kid Michael enjoyed. Kid Michael hated. And I think it's the Rob Zombie white trash situation. And I think it's another thing of Michael is the shape. It's a mysterious thing. I don't need a backstory into how Michael got this way. Like, I think the acting's great by everybody. Like, to be honest with you, the Sherry Moon thing, like, I agree with you. There's some roles that she's not good in, but I think her as Deborah Myers in this series is actually pretty damn good
Mm-hmm.
with what Rob was doing.
Yeah.
Brutal movie's brutal. Like, I like Scout Taylor Compton as Lori. To be honest, I like her a little bit better than what Jamie Lee Curtis does in the
100%.
franchise.
100%.
Yes.
Michael, Tyler Maine, and James G. Courtney is my two favorite Michael Myers in the whole entire franchise. It's like I could go either way on it, especially with when I get to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Dude's tall as shit. This this makes Michael look scary again.
Mm-hmm.
Because the last time we got Michael was when Busta Rhymes was kicking him right in the face for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And Rob Zombie took one of his well-known actors that he has used before, like Ian said. Not only he uses great like horror actors in all his movies, these actors love him so much that he keeps on reusing them in every movie. So having Tyler Maine come back into this as Michael, perfect, terrifying. The whole last like 40 to 30 minutes of that chase, like through the Myers house, terrifying as fuck. This movie gets very sad, and we all know the scene with Danny Trejo.
Oh, yeah.
I was good to you, Mikey.
Yeah.
Absolutely sad. What are you gonna say?
Oh, I said every time I watch it, yeah, gets me in the feels.
The theatrical version is the go-to. I hate the unrated version for one specific scene. I fucking hate that. So theatrical way is all time to go because I watched the unrated the first time. Felt uncomfortable watching it.
Mhm.
Watched the theatrical the second time. A lot better escape scene for Michael in the theatrical version. A lot more brutal also. And I think that's what I'd rather see brutal Michael Myers than Rob Zombie's white trash. Oh, everything in this in the unrated version. But of course,
So
that was like
I know that the unrated version gets a lot of shit for that. I prefer the unrated version. I'm gonna be straight up about it because it there's so many different layers to it. So you have Michael, who's a complete fucking homicidal maniac, imprisoned in there, and you have the guards who are doing something that is just as fucking terrible. So it shows that the people in charge of the maniacs are just as fucked up and terrible. It also shows Michael kind of almost having a limit because you're not sure if he's doing it to help that young lady or if he's doing it to escape. But either way, he is getting revenge on those guys for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, and it also is pretty fucking brutal what he does to them.
Yeah.
So, like, I get like there's a lot of people that's a very touchy subject for. So I completely understand, but I prefer the unrated, even though the theatrical has my homie Bill Moseley in it. I still prefer the unrated escape scene. That's just me.
Malcolm McDowell is a good Michael, and he's a good Michael in this.
Michael.
Not Michael, fuck it, Dr. Loomis.
Kathy Bates playing Kathy Bates.
There we go. Yeah.
Real quick, I liked fucking Kid Michael. I liked delving deep into what happened. Like, there's certain stories that, you don't necessarily really need a backstory on. I get it. This one, he's supposed to be this mysterious shape and just the poster of violence and just whatever. But this one, I think it works by giving him just a little bit of not humanity, but you see kind of the what happened to bring this up and to why he's the way he is. And I think it works because it gives kind of a perspective on why these ones are so fucking brutal. Because let's be honest, these are the most brutal in the whole franchise, of the Halloween franchise. And I think seeing that upbringing and seeing what he went through as a kid just adds that additional, well, that's why he fucking is stabbing these people so hard and actually grunting and, doing these things. That scene in the woods with the stick will haunt me to the day I die. That shit, when that kid is busted up in the face and just like pleading, and he just that stoic, absolutely terrified. I've never been terrified of a 10-year-old in my life, except for him. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoyed the backstory, if you will. And I really dug it. And then you see that breaking point when they're in the hospital and he stabs that fucking nurse in the eye, and his mom goes to like grab him, and he turns and like goes after her. And that's like the breaking point. Like, no matter really who it is, there's nothing else there but rage and shit, just destruction.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was good, and I thought it was necessary, and kind of separated this one apart and made it its own thing while still being a Halloween film. Because after he grows up, it's, kind of John Carpenter-esque storyline, That's just me, though. I really dug the
I'm right there with you. I'm kind of agree with both of you. Like, the very first time I watched it, it was probably, I probably enjoyed it more than I did the original. The very first time I watched it, it doesn't hold up as well the more you rewatch it. So I will agree with Dakota on that. But I still think it's a fucking gnarly ass movie. The background, I would say for John Carpenter's Halloween, having zero background works perfectly for that movie. But everything that came after, like everything that Halloween was up to 2007, like it was just the same regurgitated nonsense over and over and over again. So for Rob Zombie to come in and make a remake of the original, like he had to change it up. He had to change up the formula. So to give him a backstory, now granted, it's another kind of white trash backstory. I do wish that it was like a kind of rich family, like they kind of went the route of the original, because it's a very like well put together family that you get zero background on them. Yeah. It's a well put together family, and it's just this like innocent little 6-year-old that you see for a second. So I do wish it was a little more less white trash as far as the family aspect, but at the same time, it's a very minimal complaint, because I do like seeing it's very much nature versus nurture when it comes to this film, and the environment that he's raised in and the people that are around him and his family. So giving that humanity to that character, I know it pissed a lot of people off, but at the same time, I think that's scarier than just having the quote unquote shape. This just mysterious person that's doing things for no reason. Because that little Michael Myers could be your fucking neighbor.
100%.
It could be anyone. And it's very much a grounded in realism type take on it. So I think that's scarier than anything that came before it in that aspect. And yeah, like just to see the kind of development of Michael, like him making all the masks, and it becomes his personality. Like the mask is my face. Like, don't take my mask off. And like you said, after he stabs the nurse and she takes his mask off, that's when he fucking goes ballistic, because that's his comfort. That's his mask. Yeah. And that goes into his later years of making all the masks, and you never see him without a mask on.
Right.
And it became less about the actual Michael Myers mask and more about just having something to cover the face that he's ashamed of, and just taking that anger out on everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it worked really well, because like I said, after we get into adult Michael years, then it becomes very similar to the original movie. With certain little changes here and there, but for the most part, it's pretty fucking close to it.
Yeah.
And it's just a more brutal, gory version of it. So I'm all about it. I think it fucking works. It's one of the better remakes that we've gotten ever. Not the best by any means, but definitely up there with the better of them. So I love this movie.
Yeah.
And seeing Spy Kids get fucked up, like, who doesn't love
it? And I think what you see, one of my favorite scenes of this one, sorry to jump in, is when you get to adult and when he breaks out and when he gets to the truck stop and, he just goes up to the fucking random stall and just like starts beating on the door.
Fuck
and,
I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
He's just sitting there and he's like, okay. And then he opens up and then you just see how fucking just strong this son bitch is, and just how violent he is. It doesn't matter who you are or anything. He just is going to do what he's going to do. And I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I can't remember the guy's name, who plays Joe Grizzly. Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. It's fucking great. He's fucking fantastic. I believe he's in the other ones too.
Yeah, he's Captain Spaulding's brother, and
and it just, like you said, it just works.
Mm-hmm. And Lords of Salem.
Yes, he's the other DJ. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
His two are my favorite in the franchise of all of Halloween. It goes 1, 2, now Season of the Witch.
Fuck yeah.
And then you don't want to hear my other ones because I actually like Resurrection and H2O and those other ones,
Well, I love H2O, but yeah.
But yeah, I absolutely love this one. I love his take. It's fresh, but it also kind of sticks with what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%. All right, Dakota, what do you got for Halloween 2?
Okay, before we get into Halloween 2, I think I like the casting of Danielle Harris as Annie and Brad Dourif as Sheriff Brackett.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't tell you how fucking excited I was when I heard that Danielle Harris was cast in this movie. I was like, they're bringing her back. I love her.
I think she plays Annie better than she plays as Jamie.
Well, I mean, she was a kid. So her defense.
Yeah.
But I think Halloween 4 is good, but I think they kind of threw something together with those because they wanted Michael back while Rob had a story that he wanted to tell. He had this 4th story that he wanted to tell, and he knew what he could do with her. But then the second one, now getting into the second one, he never wanted to make Halloween 2. He wanted to make his first movie, and that was it. Um, I
Yeah.
think it was the Weinstein brothers came back to
Mhm.
him, um, wanted him to do a second one because of the success. Because before like Marvel took over and took the box office record away for Labor Day weekend, Halloween, the first one, had the record for 14 years of the biggest Labor Day box office weekend opening.
Damn.
And so they're like, of course, corporations like more. We got money. Let's make another one. See how it goes. And Rob said, I will only do it if you give me the movie I want. I don't want to make the Halloween 2 because same thing with John Carpenter. Never wanted to make Halloween 2. He wanted his first one, and that's it. Then Universal came to him, did that, and he's like, unfortunately, he was the producer. I think wrote it, but he never directed it. While they wanted Rob to direct this one, and he got full control. When I first watched this, I hated this movie. Like this was my least favorite Rob Zombie movie of all time. This is one of my least favorite movies of all time. But after a lot of hearing out from certain people about the story and Michael and everything, and I think after watching all the movies because I didn't see Resurrections. Of course, I think Kills didn't come out, Ends didn't come out. After seeing all of them, especially rewatching the first one a couple more times, and watching this back when me and Goops did that episode, which I need to watch it very soon, very again. And learning about the White Horse. I know the White Horse is everyone's biggest problem about this movie. And learning about that, and especially at the beginning of the movie, there's a quote of what the White Horse means. And after knowing that a little bit, also going into this movie is perfect. This is Rob's movie. He explained Michael and Laurie's story into PTSD perfectly.
Yeah.
One for Michael because the white horse is rage. And what does he see with the white horse? His mama. And he knows his mom committed suicide because of his kind of like selfishness of he, like Ian said, like he's
Yeah.
ugly, he can't live with himself anymore, and like what he looks like, so that's why he wears the mask. And he takes that anger, and he just like the first scene in the hospital killing Octavia Spencer, the
Yeah.
most brutal scene I think in the whole entire franchise. And like you said, hearing the grunt, and he's just stabbing her over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Very violent, and the kills in that, like when Lori goes down the stairs, and one of the nurses' eyes are just gouged out. You That's brutal. And I think of all the Halloween movies, this might have the best opening with the hospital scene. If Rob could actually made Halloween 2 in the hospital like the original, I think he would have made a better movie than that one
Oh,
because
100%.
everything did so perfectness. But after that dream sequence, I really this is why I really like Scout Killer Thompson as Lori because she shows a PTS Lori. She acts that very perfectly. And mixing that with Michael because first of all, Michael is how many years goes by? Like it's a total of a year, but you could see how much this whole entire year has worn Michael because the broken down mask and everything. And it seems like his rage and anger is getting more progressive over and over and over again, trying to find Lord. And we see that in some of these kills. Um, but this is what I threw off with Richard Brake is the van when they're taking it's not Annie, but it was I forgot who the other one is back, and he's like have you ever fucked a gay girl? I'm like, okay, dude, we need to pause right there. I'm not into that shit. Um, and then he talks about to his crewmate. I'm like, oh, dude, you got really stop it. But if you want to talk about brutal death, besides Octavia Spencer's, Richard Brake's death is one. I had to look away. Like, I think it was 2018. I'm like, I got back into wanting to watch this, like, back before I first watched. So I was looking through clips. I watched that clip. I think on the first time I watched it, I actually looked away because I couldn't handle it. On the rewatch, of course, like, getting, like, used to everything, like, especially after you meet you guys, watched it, I'm like, this is not that bad, but it's brutal still as hell. Just take a piece of glass and just sawing somebody's head off and just showing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Ian, is this the movie you talk about being the most brutal? Okay.
It is. Yep.
Yeah. I agree with that.
But with the other things, Dr. Loomis, Malcolm McDowell, biggest piece of shit in this movie. Total 180 from the first Halloween. Hated this character in this. If you want to talk about another sad scene in this franchise, especially these two movies, it's Annie's death. There was a moment I could actually probably have cried just to see that. It shows the brutality, just the blood all over the bathroom, especially it's when Sheriff Brackett walks in there on her.
Yeah,
that shows how good Brad Dourif is as an actor also, because he hits that with a perfect key. And this movie's just good and everything. Like, I don't understand people's hate so much on this. I don't know if it's because it's Rob Zombie and it's not your traditional Halloween 2, but if people didn't like number 2, I know he didn't want to come back for number 3, but I know the concept in 3, and people would hate 3 more.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason why he made number 2 is to get out of his contract.
Yep.
He said, "I'll make you one more, but I got to get out this I got to get out of this third movie with you guys." Which goes to show you what type of integrity he has and what he knows he is capable of doing with his films and with his stories, where he's just saying, no, thank you. I don't want that bag. Just get me out of this contract. You can keep your money, keep everything. It just shows that he's not just going to shell up for the studio and do whatever they want him to do, which I think just kind of what goes back to the very beginning of our conversation, just goes to show that he is a true horror fan and knows what the genre is and why it's so important to people, including himself.
Right. Yeah, 100%. I'm not a fan of the White Horse. The White Horse did definitely kill this movie for me the first time I watched it. Since I understand it, I still wish it wasn't a part of it. But my biggest complaint, and it has to do with that, is the recasting of young Michael. And I completely understand why they had to do it, because Dag Clark had grown so much in between movies. But I wish they had just been like, we're just going to scrap that, because that scene of young Michael takes me out of this movie so hard. And it definitely kills the vibe of it for me. So I wish the whole White Horse thing had just been scrapped. But again, I understand it more now. It does make more sense. But that aside, this movie is fucking fantastic. It is the most brutal. I don't think it's the most gory of his movies, but it's absolutely the most brutal.
Yeah.
And absolutely agree that the PTSD portrayal by Scout Taylor Compton is the best that I've ever seen. Especially in like a slasher franchise, because no one else has nailed that or has even tried to touch it. And she fucking gave it 100% and fucking nailed it. And it works so well. not only as like being in that situation, how you would feel, but it come like to play a part in what happens with Annie later. Like she pushes her away the entire movie because she associates Annie with the trauma of her past, and then for Annie to get murdered and then have to live with that she has spent all that time pushing her away, and now doesn't have a chance to reconnect with her. Like it's fucking heartbreaking. And then yeah, for Brad Dourif, like that performance is absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love so much. Like I said, other than what I had said, like I love everything about this movie. Like the costumes, like the costume party, the Rocky Horror, fucking Jeff Daniel Phillips is the fucking Wolfman. It's just everything. It's so fucking good. And I also agree that yeah, Malcolm McDowell is absolutely terrible. I hate that character in this movie.
Yeah.
But it also works. Like it also works for the movie. Like I hate the character, but like it's not going to be another regurgitation of Loomis. Like it's something different, so I can't really complain about it, and it works. And I love the. I don't even know. There's so many different endings to this movie. I don't even remember what the theatrical one is, but I love the whatever ending it is that's like Lori is gone and she's just like in this mental state, almost like a what the hell is between heaven and hell?
Purgatory?
Yeah, almost like a purgatory state. It's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Is that when she's like in the insane asylum at the end?
Yeah, like she's clearly she clearly gets killed, but then you see like the last shot is her like sitting in this like mental asylum. Like it's almost like a purgatory kind of deal.
Yeah.
So what's weird is the unrated version, she gets killed, right? Like they're both gone. Her and Michael are gone.
Yeah, I think so. I don't remember which one's which, honestly.
I think the unrated is when they both killed them off because that's Rob's story. Like he wanted it out. Like I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
They're both dead. The theatrical one is she's still alive because technically Michael was still alive somehow. Even because in the third one in the script, like when she thought she killed Michael, like it shows in the movie that she actually killed Loomis. So Michael's still out there somewhere, and she escaped somehow with Michael, and it was like a whole thing of them like teaming up and going on like a killing spree.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
And they were supposed to do that 3D, like everything was at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank God that didn't happen.
Right. Yeah. No, this one's fantastic. It's dark. It's gritty. You have that mental health aspect of it after going through what she went through with the PT and then with the PTSD. And I mean, you guys pretty much hit everything. And yeah, I need to rewatch this one because this one I haven't rewatched in a couple years, I think. But yeah, it's definitely not as bad as everybody says it. Everybody says it is. I mean, I feel like we've been saying that with every movie that he's made, but it feels like it just goes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think there's just certain people and certain things that no matter what people do, they just associate with that person just doing bad movies or whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's the cool thing to hate on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
100%. And look, I love the fucking mask in this one too. I love that it's like half gone. You see his face, like, because you never see, other than like quick little glimpses in a few of the movies, like you don't see Michael's face ever. So I love that fucking Rob just went with it and fucking ripped half the mask off, and like you see Michael without a mask. Like it's fucking cool. I love it. It brings that kind of humanity aspect back to it too. Like it's so fucking good.
Yeah. I feel like Rob does such a good job of showing the actual horrors of human beings.
Yeah.
In his movies.
100%. Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, monsters, ghosts, goblins, all that stuff. But let's be honest, the real horror and the real monsters are people in this world. I mean, day to day, you look at anything that goes on in the world, humans are doing the utter worst things that you could think of to other people. And this is just his caveat to say, yeah, the true monsters are actually the people, not that's the true horror of the horrors of the world is people and humanity. So
yeah,
that's why I think he's very grounded in that aspect of it, of filmmaking. I can't say enough about his filmography, his process, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah. So
I was going to ask you guys one more question. Did you guys watch both of these in theaters when they first came out?
I watched the first one for sure.
I want to say yes. I know. I definitely saw the first one. I think I saw the second one in theaters. I don't remember though.
I know. When did the second one come out? I'm
blanking.
09. 9, yeah.
Shoot. That was a long time ago.
Right?
I'm trying to think. I know I saw the first one in theaters for sure because I was like, holy shit, this is coming out, and it's been forever since we had one. But yeah, I can't remember the second one. I don't. But
I'm almost positive I saw both of them in theaters.
Yeah. Yeah, but shooting the shot, Rob, if you ever do see this, we'd love to talk to you and get the behind the scenes because goddamn.
Right.
But we always like to do a little ranking. Who doesn't like a good rank video? So with the movies that we've seen, Dakota, your list will be a little shorter, but you know, you're going to watch the other ones, which I can't wait to hear what you think of them. But you want to go through your list, Dakota?
Yes. Number 5. So I've seen 5 of them. Yeah, 5. Number 5, I got Halloween. His original Halloween. Number 4 is The Devil's Rejects. 3's Three from Hell. 2's House. 1's his version of Halloween 2.
Oh yeah. What you got, Mr. VanGhoul?
Well, I did all of them. So, of all of his films, I know we didn't talk about them, but I'll just touch on them quickly. And there's not a single bad one. So, even though these are like towards the bottom, that does not mean that they're bad by any means. They're just, that's the way the ranking goes. So there's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 9 in total of feature films that he's done. So 9 is Haunted World of El Super Beasto, based on the comic book that he wrote, animated. It's a lot of fun, and I do enjoy it, but it's definitely the most raunchy. Like it leans fully into the raunchiness, and just like very over the top type deal. So I enjoy it, but obviously it's not my favorite. So it had to land in last place there. Next up is The Munsters. Now, The Munsters is my favorite show of all time. Absolutely love The Munsters. So when it was first announced that Rob was doing it, even though I am a huge fan of Rob Zombie, I was very like, I don't know if he could pull this off. And I know that he also is a huge fan of The Munsters as well. So it was kind of there's like I'm in between because like given his filmography of characters that he writes, I don't know if he's going to pull off The Munsters, even though he's a huge fan of The Munsters. Well, long story short, I really enjoyed it. I thought he did a really good job on it. Nothing is going to compare to the original Munsters. Like there's not going to be a Herman like Fred Gwynn. There's not going to be a There's not going to be a Yvonne DiCarlo as Lily. Like nothing is going to compare to that original show. I think Rob's is the closest to the show out of everything that we've gotten since that. So yeah, it's not perfect by any means, but I think he made a monsters movie, so I really enjoyed it. Next up is Halloween 2. Again, I absolutely love it. But if it weren't for the White Horse recasting of young Michael, it would definitely be higher up. But again, there's not a bad movie on this list, so that's where it had to fall. 3 from Hell is next, then 31, then Halloween, and then my top 3 will probably never change. It might change order of those 3, but those 3 will not be knocked from the top. Lords of Salem, Devil's Rejects, and House of Corpses.
Hell yeah. To be frank, I haven't watched the Monsters kind of with the same kind of outlook that you had on it, and I just didn't want to watch it just with the whole aesthetic of it. I started watching the animated film just today, and I was like, I can't do this right now. It went so fucking like off rip. So I got like 20 minutes in. I was like, I can't do this right now. But yeah, it's definitely a raunchy piece of work.
Fire taste for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll have to revisit that one for sure. But as far as the 7 that we talked about, and same goes, there's no real bad film that I dislike it's just like you said, ranking is how ranking goes. But we got 3 from Hell at 7, House at 6. Then we have Devil's Rejects at 5. We have Halloween 2 at 4. At 3, Lords of Salem. 2, Cats. 2, we have his original take on Halloween. And then number 1, of course, 31. So there is my I am shocked that Lords of Salem jumped so fucking high for me.
That's so good.
But yeah.
I love it.
And like I said, there's no actual bad movies.
No, every single one is solid.
Yeah. But any last comments or anything like that?
I just want more. I wish you would make more movies.
I would like more for sure. Because like I said, he can get into his bag and he knows how to tell a story.
Yeah.
Everybody says they want the original content, the original things, but they don't watch it when it comes out.
Or they shit all over it. Yeah.
Yeah, that too. It's one or the other. They don't watch it or they shit on it. So
But yeah, he's had so many things like in development, quote unquote, that just have never come to fruition. And he doesn't have anything slated now. Like, I don't know if he's gonna make another movie at any point. But yeah, he was attached to the Blob at one point. The one I'm really, really bummed about that never happened is the Broad Street Bullies. Like he was gonna make a movie about the Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies from the 70s.
Yeah.
Which I think would have been a fucking gnarly movie. Like it's very, like, content wise, very different from anything that he's done.
Yeah.
But I feel like it still would have been fucking gnarly.
Yeah. That I remember listening to an interview because I just went through and he talked about that. I was a big hockey fan back in the 70s and that whole aspect of it. And I'd never heard of that before. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. And I would have loved to see that and kind of not just as somebody who likes hockey, but also Rob Zombie itself. And like, that would have just been a cool thing to have happen.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I would like more as well.
Yeah. Hopefully, at some point.
Right. Dakota, anything?
Okay, I will watch those two, and I would let both of you know before then. But the listeners, I will let you guys know what my thoughts are on the next episode.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Well, in that case, we're gonna end it on that note. But definitely, if you're watching the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the bell notifications on. Like us all on our personal social media pages. We will have everything linked down below, including Mr. VanGhoul's. If you're on Spotify or the audio versions, give us 5-star. We definitely appreciate you guys listening. Let us know what you guys think of Rob Zombie, what you guys' ranking is of his films, and if you think he's good as a horror director. But until next time, we appreciate you guys being here. Everything will be in the show notes, and we will see you next Tuesday.
See you
See you
next
next Tuesday.
Yeah.